How's it going, everybody? I have been pondering the best way to answer a question that I get asked quite often. And I've never really thought about it too much until now because people are asking me about it. What is a realist? Now, all I can give you is my definition of what a realist is based on myself. I can't speak for anybody else and what they see, besides beings that I don't see being a realist as a personality trait, but as a thought process, a process of how I analyze, how I reach decisions and everything like that. There's different levels of being a realist, just like there is anything else. Me, I'm pretty much considered a hardcore realist, meaning I believe in absolute truth. Now, a lot of people think that when I say that I believe in absolute truth, that I'm one of those people that believe things have to be black or white, this or that. No. A true realist does not believe that at all. Because during the course of becoming a realist, as I did, you learn things. And a lot of the things that you believed are going to go out the window. You better be prepared for it. I have eaten a lot of crow in my life, getting to the knowledge level of things that I have right now. It happens. The only way you can improve is by making mistakes and learning. You don't learn from success, you learn from failure. I came up with the best way that I think there is that I can describe how I see a realist. Now, basically, the way I see it, a realist sees the world how it is and acts accordingly, makes their decisions according to how the world is. So one of the first things I had to come to terms with on my road to becoming a hardcore realist was understanding that I can't use logic to understand a world that is not logical. That's what I mean by you have to see the world exactly how it is, and you have to act according to how things are. Not the way you think they should be, not the way you want them to be, or not the way statistics or something or a study say they should be. Exactly how it is. That's my basic definition of what a realist is. It's not somebody who black or white or this, because another thing that you learn very quickly on your road to becoming a realist is that more than one thing can be true at the same time. This is a fact that a lot of people overlook. The road to becoming a realist, it's so, I don't know. I can't tell you how it happened. It just happened. I mean, the best way that I can describe how my thought processes work as a hardcore realist is if I go through the process of me making my decisions concerning abortion. I think by now I've made my stance on abortion pretty clear. I don't agree with it. But I also believe that it's not my place to judge anybody who does have one. That's between them and God. That comes under the heading of none of my business. But we're not talking about that because that was the emotional side of things. I'm going to set that aside and we're going to look at the logic. And this makes women mad as a hatter. I mean, it pisses them off, but it makes them mad because they know it's true. When it comes to abortion, they want to start thinking about things, and this is how the media and everybody else puts it. They want to start their thinking from the point of them finding out that they're pregnant. They take us another step back, and it comes down to personal responsibility. Because unless it was rape, she allowed this to happen, knowing the consequences. Now, everybody will throw in here about all faulty birth control. Even Planned Parenthood admits that it's a minuscule amount of the reasons for abortions that they hear. Number one cause, even according to Planned Parenthood, is having unprotected sex. Accidental pregnancy. This is a behavior problem. It comes from irresponsibility. And that's what I mean by a hardcore realist. That's how I do everything. I take it back to the absolute end. There is no place else that you can take it to. And this is what makes me pretty effective in arguments because every argument that somebody throws at me, I've already thought about it. But this is what you do. You take everything down to the end, and you have to be able to separate the emotions and the logic to do that. It's not as hard as people think it is. It just takes a little practice. Now that's the absolute truth of abortion. No matter how you cut it, it all comes down to personal responsibility of the woman. It is her body, her choice. She claims it. They say it all the time. Well, start being responsible with those choices. Can you imagine what would happen if these young women today started thinking at the point in the bedroom? Can you imagine if they made their decisions there instead of in the abortion clinic? We wouldn't be murdering 2,000 babies a day just for to not inconvenience someone's life. That's the absolute truth. What abortion does is it allows people to escape the consequences of their choices. That's why they have them start thinking from the point of being pregnant. That way they can avoid all responsibility. They can point fingers and they can blame this and blame that, and it's just a means of escaping their personal responsibility. That is the absolute truth of abortion. So I'm not going to take up too much more of your time today, but I do have another example that I want to show of what it means to me to be a realist. And it's right here. Ayn Rand and the Holy Bible. You notice I'm not bursting into flames holding these two things together. When you really become a realist is when you understand that this book and this book are not diametrically opposed to each other. This teaches you a process of thinking. This teaches you a belief system. They can work together. But unfortunately, because of the way people have been programmed throughout their life, people who study this book rarely study this book, and vice versa. These books can both help you. You just have to reach a point where you understand and get rid of the programming that has been put into your mind. Now, as a realist, I love Ayn Rand. I mean, she is the cat's meow to me as far as logic and reason and everything like that. But her and I split directions when it comes to her atheism and her humanism. I don't agree with that because I believe in God. But that does not mean I can't read through her opinions and everything on that stuff and take out what's important and leave the rest. This is what I'm always harping on. This is what a realist does. They go in, they take what's important, and they throw the rest away. Because that's just distraction. It's clutter. It's noise. You don't need it. I believe in the Holy Bible. I believe in God. And I also believe in objectivism. That is a realist. When you can make that happen in your mind, then you're a realist. Because you've gotten rid of all the emotional programming that has told you you can't believe this if you believe this. You got to get rid of that programming. That goes down to you not listening to anybody else. You listen to yourself. You do the research, you get the information, you put it all together, you analyze it, and you come up with a conclusion. And once I come up with a conclusion, it doesn't change unless somebody brings me hardcore proof that I'm wrong. Because of the very fact that, as a rule, and this is the way other realists generally are, as a rule, I don't open my mouth unless I know what I'm talking about. And that's a big problem we have in today's world. People run their mouths and they have no freaking idea what they're talking about. But anyways, I wanted this ended up being a little bit longer than I thought it would. But you ask, I answer. That's my definition of what being a realist is. You guys take it easy.